You have to drink that gallon of water a day that you hear so commonly quoted. How much water do you really need? Well, I will tell you that the studies actually do support we need, at least for men, about a gallon of water a day, and women a little bit less than that. But that's obviously going to change a little bit depending on if you're not sweating at all, working inside in a cool environment versus outside an athlete sweating all the time. But does it all have to be water? No. Remember that food can provide water, especially things like vegetables, which are pretty rich, like things like spinach, which is 90% water, or watermelon, or strawberries. So remember that foods do count in that water intake, especially some of those foods that are a high water content foods. Do other liquids count? Yes, of course they count. So other liquids do count in that hydration status. Even coffee and tea, which get a bad rap because they contain caffeine. Caffeine is a diuretic, so you do lose some water. You're taking in more than you're losing when you're drinking coffee or tea. So I think the key is, yes, you need to be well hydrated, but it doesn't have to be this gallon of water every day. You can get this from other sources. How do you get the water into your cells where you need it? If you think about water, we really want it to get inside our cells. Increasing the osmotic pressure of our cells, making it's what we call cell stretch, makes our cells much more efficient at making energy. Actually, we can build muscle more easily when my cells are stretched out. I actually love a supplement called iCell. iCell water, you can add this to your water while you're exercising and things like that. It actually takes the water and it moves it inside the cells. It's a combination of some amino acids that give it the perfect osmotic load to get that water into your cells where it's needed. So you might want to consider at least some of the water you're drinking to have an osmotic load on it that's going to actually drive it into the cells, especially if you notice that you're getting swelling in your legs and things like that. So what are you going to look at to know if you're adequately hydrated? Well, look at your urine. If your urine is dark in color, then probably you need more hydration. If it's nice and light, that's a good thing. If it looks like water, probably overhydrated. You can look at your skin. If you pull up on your skin on your hand and it doesn't bounce back, probably you're underhydrated. Remember that water is critical for lubricating joints, for getting rid of toxins, for improving brain function, for blood pressure, for cardiac function. So it's absolutely critical. And I will tell you that you can fix so many problems from kidney to brain fog simply by getting them to drink more fluids, right? Most of us are walking around in a chronically dehydrated state. Now I want to make one more point, and that is you need to check the quality of your water. So you can go to something called ewg.org and put in your zip code, and it will tell you the contaminants that are in your water and how to filter those contaminants out. I can tell you, you will be shocked. It is frightening to see the things that are in your water. And whether you need a reverse osmosis filter or whether you can go with a carbon filter, you'll be able to see what filter will get rid of the contaminants that you have in your water. But that's really important to do. Even if you're drinking bottled water, seems like it'd be great water, it's straight from the springs, very high levels of arsenic in it. So we need to make sure that even those things we are filtering out. You can have a filter in your water bottle, you can have a filter in your water tap, or you can have it in your water dispenser. Make sure you know what's in your water when you're drinking. Key points. Yes, you need a lot of hydration. No, it does not have to all be from water. It can be from other fluids and even from foods. You need to monitor your status by looking at just physical symptoms. And you need to know the quality of your water. You do all those things, you could markedly improve health.